Hey guys, ILene Vick here for Adult Coloring with ILene Vick, and as promised, this is the second video to the coloring of Dragon, and it is out of the Selina Fenech Enchanted book. I went ahead and finished the piece as I said I would, and so now I want to show you. Of course, you know me. Hold on. Okay, I want to show you the things that I finished up on it and show you the techniques in particular. Okay, so ta-da! There it is. Take a look at it for a couple minutes. See what you think. And then I'm going to go over the last few things that I did on this, and we'll be good to go. All right. So obviously I finished the dress, the hair, the face, sky in the background, the trees. I think last time that I'd shown you this, I'd already done the grass. If not, take a look at that. And let me pull you in just a tad closer and I'll show you these techniques. All right. So talking about the trees, very straightforward. I drew my vertical lines like I showed you with my very narrow pen. I drew in the little knots of wood. You can do this, just little C's actually, oversized C's. I think I'd already told you about this, that I drew the line in behind the horn here to make this become transparent, and that's a really neat technique. There's probably things that you're doing that you could just draw in a simple line or two and then it makes it look transparent. Neat stuff. Here on the other side are my trees. You can see that I did vary the color. I went ahead and added whatever lines that I needed. And when I varied the color, I used, you know, the browns and darkened the brown. This is the lighter of the brown. So here's a tree here. Added a little bit of gray, which was fine. And then here's the last of my trees. All right, very straightforward. Again, very, very, very doable on your part. All right, so let me bring you up just a tad. So let's talk about the hair. I went ahead and again, I took my very narrow pen, which I have shown you in other videos. It's my Signo pen, and it is 0.2, I think it's, yeah, 2025, can't quite see that. All right. And what you want to do is, and what I did is I went through, if you look at the original, all these lines were not in here. So I went ahead and filled in some of the lines to give it that nice little hair streaming look. Hair goes all the way down to here. I was very careful to make sure I didn't fill in where the green was, left it open so you can see that there is the green behind the young lady. Again, a very straightforward technique. Let me see if I can pull you in. Okay, here's the close-up of it. And you know me, I like to show you my micro views of everything that I'm teaching. Looks awful sometimes, but it makes the point and you can see what's going on. All right, so then talking about the face and this, oh, I'm sorry, the hair. So what I did is I colored with the gold. It's my Guang Hao. And this color is 099. And if you want with that gold, you can mix in a little bit yellow. This is my Sivo Vivid. Again, they don't have numbers on them, so you just got to go with how it looks. So you can mix, once you've drawn in your extra hair lines, you can go ahead and mix the gold and yellow. And actually, it looked really good as blonde, but I decided that I wanted to go more with a brown. So what I did is I layered it with a light brown on top of the gold, and that's how I got my really nice mix here. So you can see how semi-realistic that looks. I like it. I think it turned out really well. So I had that, and then I went ahead and I wanted to work on my face and skin tone. And as you know, I have, let's see, I have a whole jar of what I call, let me pull you out a little bit here. I've set aside a whole bunch of colors, and I just named one of my cans Flesh. And all of these are various shades of flesh. Some of them are the light pinks, a little slightly darker. This color here is great for tinging a little bit. It just depends what effect that you want. Here's a very pale color. So yeah, these are all the ones that I use for Flesh. So I went ahead and used my lighter Flesh color, which is this one here. I laid it down as my very first color. And I went through and with very small circles went through and colored all the way down. And that turned out really well. I like it. To me, a fairy princess is very small and delicate, and she is light skinned, so that's what I used. And then I wanted to get a little more color, so I used the Sooty Style color 126. And what I did is, do you remember how I showed you that when you're doing Flesh that you color the outsides? Let me pull you in. So I colored the outsides, I colored the throat, I colored where the breastbone is, added a little bit of the peach highlight directly on the shoulder. Okay, and let's see, then we had a little bit of the hand here, the finger, so I added a little bit of pink there. And then the last area, let me get acclimated, yeah, is this hand. So again, I had my base color, right? And then I added the Flesh on top of that towards the outside, and then here on the palm, okay? All right. So this is a very straightforward technique. I don't want you to get the heebie-jeebies about coloring Flesh. Not that difficult. I, in fact, did a video on a Selina Fenech book on how to color Flesh and hair. And that really, honestly, that's the basics of it, is that you put your first color down, which will dictate the overall color of the skin, and then go ahead and highlight. And notice on this, let me get back again. Notice on this that I also made the point to color the cheek, okay? And the lips, of course. Now, what really made it, and I used the fine line marker for this. Let me grab the brand here. It's a fine liner. It's my Staedtler fine liner here, tripless. And I went ahead and I made sure to color the eyes. And the second I did that, that really made it. Let's see if I can get like super, super close. Oh yeah, see? Boy, those lips look awful close up, don't they? But they look great from a distance. That'll teach me to show you super macro view. Honestly, you don't notice it when it's pulled out. And I'll fix that later because I don't want to make it worse. All right, so you can see, let's concentrate on the eyes. And so you can see that I did color the eyes and that made a difference. You could color them a really nice green. See, now you got me focused on those silly lips. Phew. And I'll recolor that in later. There we go, that's better. But see, as soon as I added color to the lips, and then I went ahead and I put on a little bit of eyeshadow. Now this was really tough because this was like teeny tiny. So I could only hit it like with the tip of the fine liner. Okay, so close up, it looks like horrendous. But when you pull out to normal view, it looks really cool. Get that. There we go. And let me pull you out to what normal view is. There we go. So yeah, that turned out really well. The point being, no matter how teeny tiny, if you can, sweat the details. So I did, and I got like a really great looking piece, except in macro view. And you can see now the overall effect. All right, so let's see. Last video, I was working on the bodice. You can see what I did, bodice. And let's see, we grab that. And what I did is I just followed the curvature. So I made like little sideway U's. See how I did that? And I remind you, I added the extra lines to define the breast, okay? And on these little decoration here, I just used my black fine liner and outlined these little curly cues. So lots of neat stuff going on here. And then on the grass, you can see that I went ahead and colored these with fine liner, just highlighted it. Then I put a very light green down, and then I put a darker green down after that. So what do I always tell you? Go light on your colors first and then you can adjust later. So overall, I am really happy with this piece. I think it turned out well. I'd sure love to know your comments on it. And then of course, here's my dragon, which I absolutely love. I'm just so proud of him and happy with him. Excuse me while I take a little water. So now you can see the whole piece. And let me give you an overall shot of that now that it is complete. Give me a moment. There we go. So just take your time and look at that. I'm real happy with it. I think it turned out well. My dragon is bold like I wanted. I wanted her to be, soft. And there's the contrast right there. Soft and boldness, right? A dragon is bold, fire. Soft and fairy and gentle, bold and menacing, the whole bit with it. And then, of course, I talked to you about how I did the scales. Okay. So yeah, overall, and this blue sky, darker at top, a little lighter coming down, nice little contrast. So I want you, when you color, please sweat the details. There are some neat little detail thingy that I did on the toes that I talked to you about, the 2 different colors. And you may not realize that you are looking at that, but it totally makes a difference. Yeah, I'm just overall happy with it. Good grief, I must be getting up. Oh, cold, excuse me. I'll let you look at that a minute. Excuse me. So I really hope that you learn something neat out of that. The big lesson being is, what did I say? Go bold. Pick something, bold it up, bring it out, and then lighten up your colors on everything else to go background. I mean, if I really wanted to contrast this, I could have done a really, really light green. So this would have been bold, right? The bold dragon. This would have been the medium color, and then the rest of this would have been very light. And in fact, I would encourage you, as next project you do, take a look at it and see what you can do as far as a light, a medium, and a bold. So bold, medium, and light, and just play with that. So yeah. All right, so let me zoom in a little bit. I'm going to give you a little tour of this again. So that you can see. I showed you how I did the horns. That was fun, actually. I particularly like the dress. Yeah, I like it all. I'll give you a little more here. All right, guys, so you get the idea. You've seen all the techniques that I used on this. I really, really hope that it gave you some neat ideas. And I hope you had fun following me on this. My next project that I'm going to be doing right after this one. That was redundant. Next project right after this. Okay. Is I'm going to be doing this lighthouse. And this is done, you know, those lath wood art that you have. It's like strips of wood. I'm going to show you, there's a sample, how to color in that technique. Look at that. Isn't that neat? So you've got the wood here, you've got the little nails in it. We've got the sunlight, got the little nails. Here's the ocean, which actually in the final is going to be more greenish because I want the sky to be blue. So I think you're going to learn a lot on this one. I really love that picture. And actually, it's from my cheapy book again. Give me a second here. If I can find it real quick. No, I don't know where it is. I'm not going to make you wait. And again, let's see what I got. Oop, don't know where it is. All right. So anyway, that's going to be the next project. I am really looking forward to doing this one, teaching you some ideas to make that pop as far as this wood lath work. I think you'll learn a lot from it. All right, getting back to the subject at hand here. There we go. This is ILene Vick for Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. Hope you had fun with it. Hope you learned something. Thank you for spending time with me. All right, guys, joyous coloring. Until next time then. Bye.